Hello, my name is Jimmy, and this is the 2022 Acura MDX. This is the fourth generation of the MDX. Introduced back in the year 2000 as a 2001 model, the MDX was a huge success, and a huge success for the Acura brand as well, as this is one of the most important vehicles in their entire lineup. Because who doesn't want a luxury, comfortable SUV that can carry 7? With this new generation though, Acura is raising the bar. It's sleeker, sportier, and more luxurious than before. Let's start by its looks. This front end, distinctively Acura. You get these narrow LED headlamps that flank this amazing Acura grille. You do have some fake vents on the side, but you also get some LED fog lights down below. Off to the side, we got these 20-inch wheels and this very distinctive body line that stretches from the headlight all the way to the tail lamp on the back. You have some chrome trim on the side. If it's the A-spec, that'll be blacked out. And around back, we get these TLX inspired taillights, and they absolutely look amazing. Little decklit spoiler on top and trapezoidal exhaust on the bottom. Overall, the new MDX looks good. It's very distinctively Acura. There's the traditional creases that you're looking for in an Acura product, but it doesn't scream childish or too sporty like some other SUVs are trying to be these days. Opening up the tailgate, and it shows us 15 cubic feet of space behind the third row. There's actually a little bit more space underneath the floor. And the floor itself, it's clever. You can lift it up to stow things underneath. You can also flip it around for a rubberized surface. There's also a very big storage spot right off to the left here. And when you're all done with the trunk, you can hit this button here off to the side, and once you're clear from the trunk, it'll automatically close itself. All right, let's talk a little bit about the cabin itself. As you can see, it is a 3-row SUV, which means you gotta try out this third row. There's a button on the side which makes it nice and easy for you to press, and it'll automatically slide up. Getting into the back, not difficult, but it's not as spacious as some may like. As you can see, there's not a lot of knee room here, and headroom is limited. I'm 5'11", so I'm definitely not designed to be back here, but smaller kids shouldn't be a problem. The second row is super comfortable. There's tons more headroom up here, and there's plenty of legroom. And of course, you can sacrifice a little bit of second row legroom for the third row if you wish. What's clever though is this middle seat. Well, yes, it is a middle seat. You can fold it up, but if you have it folded down, it's an armrest with cup holders. But there's another trick. This is taken from the Odyssey. Pull a little latch in the front, and you can actually lift this entire thing out of the vehicle, making it a 6-passenger vehicle. This is actually a great little feature. It just means that you're able to have the configuration of your choice whenever you need it. But there isn't enough space on board to be carrying this other than in this position. So if it's not here, it's in your garage, which means you're probably gonna forget it, and it's a 6-passenger SUV at that point. But if you are going to be carrying kids, I do have a separate video that you can watch up there on how this car fits with your kids. I have a Collect Link, an infant seat, as well as a Collect Fünf, which is a convertible. And I'll show you exactly how well they fit inside this vehicle. While the back seats are comfortable, the front seats, they're a whole lot better. These front seats, because this is the top trim, there's adjustable bolsters, there's adjustable thigh support, and there's adjustable lumbar support, so you can really get comfortable in here. They're heated as well as cooled, and there's even an auto mode so that the vehicle can just do whatever it needs to do depending on the weather outside. In front, it's a typical Acura steering wheel, nothing too different here. You got your traditional buttons, volume, radio controls, and a whole bunch more. I like the steering wheel. Behind, something I like even more, a full digital cluster. It's actually really nice for Acura to incorporate this. Depending on the drive mode, it differs. So comfort, normal, as well as sport, it will change the look and the dynamics of that cluster. And if you're not a big fan of this view, you can change it to another view which kind of replicates dual analog gauges, which some may prefer. Above, heads-up display. Works great, has everything that you really need. Lane keep assistance, speed, all that information is right there. Infotainment, it's a mixed bag here. While it is a beautiful widescreen display, it works well, there's wireless Apple CarPlay and a Qi wireless charger here. It really has what you need, it's just the control of it. It's not a touchscreen, it is this touchpad on the center. So it works well enough, but it's not great. So when you're within the Acura menu, the trackpad is a 1-to-1 ratio. So top left of the trackpad is top left of the screen, bottom right is bottom right. Makes sense, right? However, when you're in CarPlay, it goes into regular trackpad mode where you actually have to swipe. I don't know why there's a difference. I'm sure there's this programming to it, but it just makes it that much harder to use. What is nice is there's a dedicated volume knob and forward and back button just right off to the side here. We saw this in the TLX, but the RDX, that button was up top and it was just a little bit harder to reach. Overall, for the rest of the cabin, I think it's a great place to be. There's everything that you really need at your fingertips. There's enough dedicated hard buttons without going into the menu for everything. I mean, all your climate control is right there. Just makes it nice and easy. There is a bunch of piano black plastic, but it's on surfaces that you normally don't touch, like right up here. So it shouldn't get all smudgy. So I don't think that's a problem or anything like that. But let's get on the road and let's go for a drive. On the road with the 2022 Acura MDX. I mean, the first thing I notice is just how light the steering wheel is. It's definitely a lot easier to drive day to day and whatnot. It's effortless. And that's kind of what you're looking for in a luxury SUV, right? You want that effortless experience. You can turn things up a little bit if you change this dynamic mode button here to sport, which I do like because it firms up the suspension as well. Being the top trim, I have every single option available on here, including adjustable dampers. And you do feel it, but it's still quite soft. It's definitely not as stiff as last year, actually, because like the last generation of the MDX, it was a lot stiffer than this, from what I recall anyways. Underneath the hood is still the good old J35, which means it's a 3.5 liter V6. No turbocharging here just yet. That's the Type S, which is coming soon this year. But on here, you get 290 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque. And it goes to all four wheels thanks to Super Handling all-wheel drive. Super Handling all-wheel drive is super clever. It actually allows more torque to be handed off to the rear wheels because the rear wheels are overdriven compared to the front. I mean, normally in this kind of layout, the maximum you can send is 50-50. But Acura and Honda engineers, they're clever. They're able to give a little bit more power to the rear, giving you a little bit of that overdrive feeling. And it has a little bit of that oversteer effect on lower speed corners when you're on the throttle. So not all the time, and chances is most people don't feel it, but what you will feel is V6 power. Because when you floor it, it sounds good. And it actually pulls decently well as well. I mean, sure, it's not the Type S. I'm sure that will be a whole lot faster, but this isn't bad for a regular day-to-day SUV. And chances is this is like a school run vehicle more than anything else. I mean, SUVs are the new minivans, aren't they? But handling-wise, I'm actually quite surprised. It's quite sure-footed. It does what it needs to do and sticks to corners pretty well, more than it really should. I mean, I was just in a Lexus RX recently, and this is a far departure from that. That was definitely more bland and boring. This is a little bit more fun. It's a little bit more playful. For those who would take this for longer distances, you'll be happy to know not only is it comfortable, it's also pain-free. The radar-guided cruise control, it just works really well. It keeps you, like, the distance, that's not a problem, of course, but it doesn't suddenly jolt and brake or accelerate. That's something a lot of other manufacturers have problems with, but this is nice and smooth, and it still keeps you within your lanes really, really well. It does have a 360 camera, which I do like, and there's a camera button right here on the stock. It's kind of a weird placement. Like, most people will be looking here in the cluster or just off to the side to find that button, but it's just right here. It's easily accessible, so you can press it and get a good 360 view of, you know, in front, whatever that you need to see. But I think that's really all I have to say about the MDX, so let me pull over here and summarize everything up. Push button shifter. Still takes a little bit of time to get used to. But overall, the MDX is an amazing vehicle. It has everything that you need in one package. It's not as sporty as you may want, but that's what the A-Spec, not the A-Spec, the Type S is for. The A-Spec is just like the looks. It has some of the blacked out pieces that you may want in terms of looking sporty, but in no way is it a sporty SUV. The Type S, if you're looking for MDX, is the one to go for. Even has bigger brakes on that. That's kind of cool. But this MDX, is it worth the money? And how much is it? Well, the base price in Canada is $56,405. As equipped here, this is the Platinum Elite, which means it's $67,405. Or in the US, it's called the Advanced model. At $67,000, sure, it might be a little bit of money, but it's cheaper than the Lexus RX, which is its main competitor. And I mean, if it's cheaper than the Lexus, this should sell a whole lot better. But we got to take a look at the numbers for that. But in any case, thank you so much for watching this video. Like the video if you do. If you like the new MDX, give this video a like. Comment down below what your favorite color is, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.